What is going on YouTube? K293 here with a remastered version of my Sonic clip tutorial. Unlike the previous few tutorials, this is not a hybrid in pen spinning. This is kind of a standalone trick, and it does require a little bit of flexibility. So if you guys are having a little bit of trouble with this trick, or maybe you guys know already that you don't have the most flexible hand or flexible fingers, go ahead and check out my Curing Flexibility Woes video. I will be leaving a link of that down in the description below. So without further ado, this is what the Sonic clip looks like. And I guess when you think of it, it is sort of a hybrid between a Sonic and a charge, but really it is a Sonic interrupted by a charge and then finishing off that original Sonic. And hopefully kind of by that video or that little sample you just saw in the slow-mo, you guys can understand what I'm talking about. So the obvious prereqs are a Sonic and a charge. Kind of a practice drill. I kind of like to give these little drills or little checkpoints that you guys can do to help you guys along with learning the trick. And one thing that I would recommend is learning how to do a charge 1-3. Now I am showing you guys how to do a Sonic clip 2-3 to 1-2, which requires the charge 1-3. So this is the flexible part, or the part where you need to learn how to be flexible. And the reason is because you need to have your middle finger down this entire time, or at least tucked away and out of the pen's way, while you do the charge in the 1-3 finger slot. And this is no easy feat. Like, you can still tell that I am still kind of struggling with it. But practice this. You know, you might still be early on in pen spinning, and you might be thinking that some of the tricks have already caught up to you and they're already getting a little bit challenging, but you guys by now should know how to do a charge, right? So this is, instead of doing just a charge in 2 adjacent finger slots, you're learning how to do a charge with 2 non-adjacent finger slots. So in this case, again, it's 1-3, and I just hit the pen on the table, so that's why I did that. So as a practice drill, try to do this and try to get circular. It doesn't have to be perfectly circular, but at least kind of what it looked like there. And it's okay if you have to kind of, set the pen and then just do it. But the point of doing this drill is not necessarily to make it look like the best charge in the world. That's very difficult and kind of irrelevant for this trick, and I'll explain why a little bit later. But I just want you guys to kind of build up not only like muscle memory, but the strength in the back of your hand. You're going to be pulling on, I guess, whatever this is, this muscle tendon thingy on the back of your middle finger, as well as a little bit on the back of your ring finger. So you're going to be pulling on these quite a bit. So just kind of strengthening it and not entirely ruining your hand is important. So baby steps at a time, right? So practice this for a while. Maybe if you're sitting in class, you're bored of doing just a normal charge, try doing that. And one of the challenges is you want to at least try to do a charge, like 1 entire revolution, or maybe 2 or 3, without the pen sinking into like the lower part, like right here. You want the clip part of the Sonic clip to be towards the top of your finger. You want it to be at least at the joint, at the tip of your fingers, or above that. Either up here or down here is fine, but don't let it sink down to here, right? Because then you have no control over the pen, really, and it's really hard to manipulate it once it's that far into your finger slot. Most of the tricks we do are at the tips for a reason, and that is because they're it's easier to manipulate the pen when it's there rather than down here. So hopefully that really long aside was helpful to someone. But try to get it down so you can at least do 1 or 2 charges, I would say, continuously here. So now we're going to move on and combine it with the Sonic part. So just like the normal Sonic, you just want to do that swing motion and get the pen behind your middle finger in this case. Obviously, if you're doing it from the lower finger slot, then it's between these 2 fingers. But you want to start off with the normal Sonic-like motion, but instead of letting it continue this way and then catching the Sonic, that's when you want to stop it here. And then obviously this is where that Sonic or that charge came in, that charge 1-3. So again, you do the Sonic and then the charge. And then this is the second kind of little checkpoint or step, is that you can start from that Sonic, and then just do 1 or 2 charges. And the reason why I said you don't have to do super perfect circular or aesthetically pleasing charges when you're doing just that little practice bit is because when you start off with the Sonic, it's going to give you a lot more circular momentum or angular momentum. And that's going to help the charge itself look a little bit more circular, a little bit more stylistic and pleasing. Uh, so you don't really have to worry about doing that as you're doing just the charge itself. It looks kind of sloppy as it is just because there wasn't momentum to begin with. But if you have circular momentum from the beginning of the Sonic, you can imagine that carrying that momentum forward is a lot easier than just generating it from a standstill. The Sonic clip has no spin revolution count because you can do it, as you can imagine, indefinitely. However long you decide to hold this charge here, obviously indicates the number of revolutions in the Sonic clip. It tends to be, when you do it in combos, it tends to be just done once, like one circular revolution like that, which therefore gives you a spin count of 2.0 because you have one for the Sonic and then two with that charge. Hopefully it's made sense up to this point, and hopefully I don't really have to explain the ending, but just for completeness, whenever your heart's desire, whenever you're done doing that charge here, all you have to do is just realize that, hey, this is kind of like where the Sonic is or the Sonic ends. And then when you do that charge on the upswing, like if you're going like this, all you have to do is just catch it as if it's in the middle of the Sonic, right? So you just kind of let it go, raise your middle finger, and then catch it like that. So again, like that. And that's just doing one charge in the middle. Obviously, you can do it for as long as you want and stop it again whenever you want. So that will do it for my remastered version of the Sonic clip tutorial. Again, if you guys are having a little bit of problems with getting your middle finger out of the way, go ahead and check out my Curing Flexibility Woes video. That has helped a lot of people. And it's, what I use to kind of train my fingers for flexibility issues and things like that. So definitely recommend that if you're having trouble with this trick. But that'll do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you haven't already, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more content in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next video.